Hey everybody, it's your friend Kevin. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're always welcome here. I'm here with my friend Freddie the Teddy over there and little Patrick the Bear. This is your card and your message for today. Alright, so we're using Angel Wisdom Tarot deck by Radley Valentine this week. These illustrations have been done by Dan Craig. And we are using the Divine Masters Oracle deck with illustrations by Jennifer Hawkyard from Kyle Gray. These are the two, well, this Commander Ashtar Leadership Activation is the card that's been with us this week. I like to have a significator that helps to land our card of the day. Now my isms, which somehow oddly enough seems to go with all of this, is I am grateful and abundantly blessed. Now this ism was presented by Mary Sue in one of the comments, and I liked it. I liked it enough to where I think I'm going to promote it. I am grateful and abundantly blessed. There is abundance everywhere. There's abundance every time there's a rainstorm. There's abundance of water. Every time that there's a bird singing, there's abundance of wildlife that you can hear it. There is just this big lot of abundance. If we even turn the clock back 20 years, we can see that there's a lot more abundance now available to us than there was 20 years ago. We are continuing to expand, to evolve, to get more love, more romance, more business, more joy, more peace. This is a day to feel blessed in abundance. Then the other part to it is gratitude. There's way too much, oh, I don't like the way this camera does this. There's way too much emphasis on I don't, I can't, I haven't got, all those things that are negatives, not enough positives. All right, so our number for today, before we get into this card, because I want to see how this plays into it. The number for the day is actually adds up to an 11, but you can reduce it down to a 2. Well, what does that mean? It means that we are very sensitive to today. 11 is a really psychic, intuitive, spiritual card. And of course, the 2 is really all about keeping our dreams and wishes alive, looking out for any negative self-talk. The other part to a 2 energy is ask for help, reach out for support. Everything is always going to turn out for your highest good. That's the way heaven works. You've got to let heaven break through and give you more confidence on a 2 or particularly an 11 day. See the truth. Take action to it. Now the card that goes with this is the 8 of Swords or the 8 of Air. And according to our master book of tarot, it's a number 58 in the realm of the 78 cards. So there's number 58 card is the 8 of Air or the 8 of Swords. It works with the astrology sign of Gemini and works with Jupiter. So it's like, this is like the day of being, using necessity as being your bedrock of creation. Let's get on with our card of the day. Gertrude, Beatrice, all right, 9 times. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. Gertrude, stop it. And 7. She's saying very good. And 8. And 9, practice makes perfect. Okay, thank you. Do you want me to take from the top or the bottom? The top. Okay, thank you. Oh, look at this. It's a 6. The 6 of water. Children and childhood. Revisiting old dreams or plans and embracing your inner child. It's also a day that's the return of people or the return of romances from your past. Romanticizing how things were. Now, Commander Ashtar, what is it that we need to learn with all of this? Oh, So the message I get from this, because we have Archangel Michael with his beautiful robes, and we have this symbolism, two children, one offering emotion, the cup, one offering flowers, the appreciation, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cups on the floor and the gorgeous little puppy dog. So this is really all about adoration. It is really all about the abundance. What I think is really important is for all of us to reflect upon the positive side of what has occurred in our lives, particularly when we were children. There's been an awful lot of somewhat difficult, challenging talk, particularly among spiritual folks who may or may not have been dealing with trauma. Now, I'm not going to get into a psychological debate over, counseling. I think it's important. But what I really want to say is there had to be, and probably was, elements and times when you were smaller that were beautiful and brilliant. There were probably, likely, people, other friends, other childhood friends, folks you grew up with, that were supportive and loving and kind and showed you how to move along. I truly, 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 hand on heart believe that we have a choice of which energy to follow. If you grew up with a certain mindset that got stuck in there, anytime that there is challenges, and when we come up upon change, there's a challenge with change, because change can either be reductive, reducing, or expansive. And the choice of how we look at those changes is ours. If you're looking at change as being restrictive, reductive, redundant, negative, not so good, that is really and truly your hand on your heart, what you are choosing to become the change. If you're in the journey of expanding and energizing, it's necessary to let go of these limiting beliefs. Necessity, it's necessary to grow, it's necessary to change, it's necessary to expand. As I said before, with the grateful of abundance and blessings, more gratitude is the fuel of the universe. That's the key and the bedrock to expansion. Grateful for the opportunity to expand. However, if your experience that you're tracking back to with this children and childhood wasn't pleasing, isn't pleasing, that has to be taken care of, healed, and put away. One of my good friends a long time ago, when I would be facing emotional changes, moving from a relationship that wasn't working into a relationship that I wanted, she gave the analogy, it's a little bit like packing a suitcase. Some people fold it up, do the laundry and pack it neatly, zip it up before moving on. Others, they just leave one situation with all their baggage just hanging out, just trailing in the breeze, just not taking care of anything. So you either go into another expanded situation nice and neat and tidy, or you go into it crumpled and bumpled in a heap. But let's get back to Archangel Zadkiel, and this being the 14 card, 6 of water. I believe that this is tracking to inheritance, gifts, reunions, into sharing with people that we love, into becoming childlike, or moving into that childish energy. You could be in a day-to-day of pining for the past, wanting to rekindle old friendships or even rekindle old romances. This is a day that you could be stirring up some old memories, flashes from the past. It can also indicate that the flashes from the past can influence what's coming up. And I'm not ruling out. Let's see. Gertrude and Beatrice, do you have anything you want to say about this? So Beatrice over here is saying this is also a day of healing. It's a tiny bit like going to the Akashic Records. She's saying that there's healing colours, and the healing colours could be pale green. That's more of an energy of vibrancy. To me, creating healing comes from a base, and that's either deep, rich umber, that terracotta, like earthy color, and orange, moving into the yellow, which is power. Any one of those three, for me, is really about the action of healing. The thought of healing too. And if I were to put into your mind what that color would look like and where it would sit likely in the first three chakras: the base chakra, the creative center chakra, and then the solar plexus, the belly. Bringing into view anything that you want to heal, anyone you want to forgive, anything you want to move past. Well, Beatrice, yes, don't horribilize anything, because that will recreate it. Don't get into negative self-talk, because that will recreate it, particularly if that's been the narrative. We are in this big cultural shift of expansion, of growth, of moving, of shifting into a better way of being. That's exactly what we're doing. Planets are doing it. People are doing it. The old way of being is falling apart. This is where you choose. Where is your confidence? Where is your leadership? Where is your light? Where is your truth? Where is your strength? And have you been relying on, I'm not accusing anyone. I got to be careful here, because some folks, particularly if you're spiritual, have had to trudge through some pretty tough times, some pretty difficult times, emotionally, physically, trauma. We've had to sort of kind of like put our big person pants on and shoes on and just move on through it. Remember that the leadership comes from the expansion past it, over it, done with it. The stuck stuff is the ego, which I call, according to Dr. Wayne Dyer, says ego is edging out God. It's pushing heaven to the side. It's being overly confident to cover up insecurity. I've done it. I'm guilty of it. Put this big shroud of, I got this. I'm all together, good to go. It's a cover up for what's going on inside. I know it when I feel it coming up, and it's all ego. It's all 2 clicks and a twist. What I now know after realizing it, the self-awareness of it, I can smell it in other people, see it in other people, hear it in other people. Now, there's a challenge for most of us that brings up this negative stuff. What we see that we're not really sure is right in another person is a mirror for what we are not dealing with in here. And I don't want to get into that psychological babble. Thank you, Gertrude. All right, so Gertrude is the one that's the truth and the one that says move on, get out of the weeds. And here we see Miss Gertrude. She has got one of these fluffy bed jackets on, and it's kind of like, oh, she's modeling it, so we get it. Her hair is all flicked, but it's like a dressing gown thing. It's got all this marabou stuff up and around it. Her hair is all pulled up, and she's painting her nails. Which to me is saying, okay, get on with this. I'm bored to death. You need to stop with this nonsense. Get people to go get your nails painted, get your feet done, all this stuff. All right, I'll wrap it down. Gertrude, thank you for letting us know what we need to know. Commander Ashtar, thank you for offloading this leadership activation and evolving from stuff that we need to let go of. We are on a super new moon today, which is really about creativity. Get into creation out of necessity. And I don't think it's wrong or upsetting for voices from the past to pop back up. People that you have not seen in a while. People that, whoa, hello, it's nice to see you. And this is a perfect time to send away little Valentine's gifts, cards, what have you, to people you might not have heard or seen in a while. Rekindle some of those connections. Trust me, if your mind and your heart is landing on someone that you haven't seen in a good while, and they don't necessarily have to be in physical form, they can be up in the ethers, rekindle that flame. And basically that's it. We're at 15 minutes. That's about as much time as I want to devote to these cards of the day. Until next time, much love, much gratitude for what you're doing for me. Bye. Hey everybody, we hope you've enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to like, subscribe and share it with all your friends. Here's a QR code if you decide you'd like to get a private personal reading with me. I'm available most evenings and on the weekends. Just go over to the website, book in what session, 30 minutes, 60 minutes, and then fill in the contact information and I'll be back in touch. And if you feel kind enough, here is a link to my donation button. Energy exchange of any amount is always gratefully received. Until next time, be well, be blessed, and thanks so much for watching. Bye.